Okay, we are on lesson 62, and we're going to be evaluating. And we already have talked about, we had to turn to page 255, and we are talking about how the plus and the minus are both to be figured for numbers like this, because they will be coming with a different answer. So 5 plus 2 equals 7, and 5 minus 2 equals 3. So 5 plus 2 equals 7, and 5 minus 2 equals 3, and that is why we have the plus and minus. Okay. The square root of 16 is 4 times 4, and the square root of negative 16, well, negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So you can see how the negatives do make a difference. Sometimes they don't. But radical, the radical sign can be positive, and it designates the radical radicand. That's kind of thing, same thing as a dividend, So square root of 2 times the square root of 2 equals 2. The square root of a times the square root of a equals equals a, excuse me. And the square root of 2.42 times the square root of 2.42 equals 2.42. And the square root of x4 times the square root of, x minus 1, this is square root of x minus 1 times the square root of x minus 1 equals x minus 1. You getting the point here? The square root, decimal, approximate number. Okay, these are just approximate numbers only, so they would not be what you would call nice square roots. Open your book to page 253. The square root of 18 is 18. But when you push 18 on your calculator and you push square root after that, you're going to get a long number like this. And they're wanting to know where the decimal lies and what numbers it comes between. And I believe we have already talked about that. What they want you to do is they really need for you to, on that page, look up the 1 through 20, the square roots of 1 through 20 need to be memorized. Okay, so I will be giving you a little quiz on the square roots. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25, and so on. We are going to be going over these. We have to memorize the first 20 squares. Okay, now on example 4, we've got the square root of 10, the square root of 9, and the square root of 16. The square root of 10 is between those two numbers, 3 and 4. 10 is closer to 9 than it is to 3. These are higher ordered roots. They're not squared by 2. They're 3, 4, 5, and above. So these are the higher ordered roots. And you still multiply it by itself, however many times, of the higher ordered number. So you have the square root of, the cubed square root of 8 would be 2 times 2 times 2, 8, 3 times. So the negative 8 square root cubed is minus 2 times minus 2, which equals, or you just go negative 2 cubed. It's going to equal negative 8. On page 254, there is a rule that you need to write down. You can pause this and do that. But fourth roots can have one positive answer and one negative answer. Okay. Example 5. It says it's an integer answers this one. The square root of 8 cubed is 2. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. And the square root of 81 to the 4th power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 81. And C is, of course, the square root of 27 cubed is, it's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 equals negative 27. X squared equals 4. X squared and x equals negative squared. X equals positive or negative square plus or minus 2. So these are the quadratic equations. These are called quadratic equations because they can have a positive answer or a negative answer. They can they can be added and both added and subtracted. Please turn to page 256 and look on your book, and this is the problem set for 62. So please read the questions. They have 100 and 120 mammoths. One weighs 1,000 pounds and one weighs an average of 725 pounds. They're asking, what is the total average weight of both of these mammoths? So it seems like a simple addition problem, doesn't it? But you have to, I'm going to take pictures of these, okay?